Hi folks, so today I'm in Homerton. I'm going to a meeting shortly, about an hour and a half, so I just thought I'd have a little explore. Don't know Homerton that well. It's East London. I think it's East London. Don't know this area that well. Like I say, I don't often come over to East London that much, if at all, to be quite honest, or at least very rarely. But anyway, so like I said, I thought I've got an opportunity. I've got an hour and a half to kill, so I thought, well, let's have a little explore. So as I was walking along, came across this place, sort of little wooded area sort of thing. It looks fairly extensive, but I wouldn't say it was massive. It's a bit muddy though. That's one of the things that, of course, it's winter time now, you see, so that does make it a little bit awkward in terms of, you know, traipsing around these places, even on the main sort of pathways, if you like, or the main sort of trails, if you want to call it that. You know, they're quite muddy. It's not too bad. It's you know. But anyway, let's have a little wander, shall we? Let's have a little explore. You know what I mean? I don't particularly want to go traipsing into the woods itself necessarily, you know, in that way necessarily. It looks, I love places like this, I do. I'm not sure exactly why, but I've always liked sort of woody places. I guess because in some ways I actually grew up in an area that had sort of pockets of these things, little coppices if you like, not sort of massive wooded areas as such, but you know, sort of, you know, in London they're a lot bigger, you know, these sort of places. But where I grew up in Manchester, in Wythenshawe, you know, we had little had little coppices, you know, little pockets, a little wooded area that, because at one time Wythenshawe, you know, go back 100 years or so, or whatever the heck it is, and you'll find that it's, you know, it was all farmland and woodland and stuff like that, you see, so they're sort of remnants of those original, you know, the original woodland, as it were. And I guess this possibly could be as well. Although that's another thing, an interesting thing, that somebody who knows a little bit about these things, more than I do, was once telling me, you can tell roughly, and it's a rough estimate obviously, but you can get a rough estimate of how old a wood is just by the size of the trees and stuff. Now you see these ones on this side, obviously they're quite big, so they've got to be at least 100 years old, maybe a bit more, do you know what I mean? Could even be about 150, 200 years old maybe. I mean, you know, it's not an exact number sort of thing, but you see the smaller trees here, you see, and you know, because they're thinner and not as tall, usually sort of suggests that they're of a younger time, like, you know what I mean, maybe 50 years, 100 years, something like that. I'm not sure, because like I say, it's not an exact science or anything, and he knows a lot more about these things than I do. Do you know what I mean? I'm just, do you know what I mean, going by what what a friend of mine once said. That was a few years ago now when he was telling me about that. But so I don't know. I mean, maybe this is not as old as you know, because sometimes you think about these things, you think like, I wonder how old this place is. You know what I mean? I mean, was it here a couple of 100 years ago? Is it a remnant of? But the ones in, funny enough, the ones in Manchester, now they were, because a lot of the trees in there were huge, massive. I couldn't tell you exactly what type they were. There's probably some of these knocking about in there. But there were a lot of them like this, these sort of trees, the big trees over there, the ones in Manchester. So, you know, you definitely got the sense that they were of, you know, those wooded areas were definitely of some sort of significant age, like, you know what I mean? So, but like I say, I mean, a lot of the trees in here, I mean, I think they're birch trees, those white ones. And like I say, don't get me wrong, I'm not an expert, just like bits of knowledge that you pick up along the way. I think they're birch, but as I say, I can, you know, if anybody who watches my channel who knows better can correct me on that. But you see how they're not very thick. They're tall, but they're not very, very thick. Now, I don't know, again, because like I say, I'm not an expert in trees, so I couldn't swear to it exactly, but you know, I don't know, maybe that's a younger part of the wood. Maybe it is quite an old wooded area. I have no idea. It's quite honest. I'm just, you know, making a lot of assumptions, just making lots and lots of assumptions. So anyway, let's have a little stroll down here, I think. Now I don't want to go too far, and I don't want to spend too long, because although it's not too far back to where we're meeting, which is actually, funny enough, in the cafe. I'm not sure why they're having the meeting in a cafe, to be quite honest. I mean, there's no reason why you can't necessarily, but I mean, it's not like a Costa's or a, and again, I'm not trying to say that one's better than the other. Well, maybe, I don't know. But I don't know, just, you know, because I'm not sure exactly how many people are going to turn up to this meeting. I think we're averaging something like, I don't know, 6, 7 people maybe, give or take, maybe more, maybe less. And I don't know, it's not a big calf, you know what I mean, it's a little small little calf, do you know what I mean? You know, get our little meeting in there and that's half the cafe being used up. I don't know, just, I'm not saying that it's a bad place to meet up necessarily. I mean, why not? You know, if you want to, you know, I mean, then we can have something to eat as well as a coffee or whatever, blah blah blah, you know. I don't know, now I'm just thinking maybe there could be a better place that you could meet up instead, do you know what I mean, sort of thing. So I don't know. Anyway, so like I say, let's have a little explore, see where this goes, shall we? Like I say, the only thing is I didn't particularly want to get particularly muddy, you know, put clean clothes on and, you know, shower shaved and everything, try to look reasonably smart. I'm not saying I'm smart, you know what I mean, smart. But you know, obviously I don't want to get muddied up either, particularly. I mean, if I had some Wellingtons on or something, or some nice pair of boots or something, and I was specifically coming out to do this, then yeah, it wouldn't really bother me so much. Do you know what I mean? But this isn't the reason why I've come out today. Today I've come to do this meeting. This is just an opportunity to do a little video, you know, which, like I say, at the moment, because I'm getting so busy, it's just becoming increasingly difficult to get the opportunity to make a little video, like, you know. So it's actually quite extensive, actually. It's more extensive than I appreciated initially when I walked in here, because you can hear it. There's definitely some sort of like motorway on the other side of me. I can hear it. I don't know how well it's picking up on the camera, but you can hear the drone of the you know, it sounds like a motorway rather than just a normal road, because it's a sort of constant, quite heavy drone in the distance, which reminds me, it sounds very much like a motorway, or even just a dual carriageway maybe. But yeah, anywho, like I say, just have a little wander. Noticed there was some people on the other side. I didn't point the camera at them because, like, they had kids with them and everything, and, you know, I'm not, like I say, I don't believe in filming people just what's them. I mean, if they're walking down the street or something, you know what I mean, well, that's different, do you know what I mean? But you know, I don't know what they're doing, that's their business, and, you know, it looks like it's just a family just, you know, exploring the woods like me, in a sense, you know what I mean? So, but, you know, like I say, I didn't want to sort of just point the camera gratuitously at them necessarily, so I just thought I'd mention it, because, like, you know, I'm just thinking, like, at the moment I seem to be the only person in here, you know, which is understandable. It's winter time, the time of the day, you know. Actually, what time it's now? 25 to 12. The meeting's at 1 o'clock, so obviously I've got a bit of time to kill, like I say. So yeah, now I know this might be a bit boring, because I'm getting bored, to be quite honest. I mean, what, we're just filming a load of trees that are in winter time, not even got the leaves on. Although, I don't know, I mean, you know, trees in the winter are still beautiful and interesting to look at, just in a different way, really. But I don't know, what else can you say, and what else can you do, unless there's something interesting in this woods, you know, like some old abandoned, I don't know, building or something or whatever. Then obviously it gets a bit more interesting, you know what I mean? But otherwise, it's just like, cause I'm kind of drying up a little bit. I don't know what else to sort of talk about. It's getting a bit muddy, this path here. I'm just trying to decide which way do I go. Part of me thinks just go straight ahead because I'm curious to see what's round the bend of those trees. Right, let's carry on for a little bit longer, perhaps. Try to avoid much of this mud as possible. Like I say, I don't particularly want to go into the meeting with my jeans and what's them all covered in, plastered in mud, necessarily, you know. I mean, that's the other thing as well, actually, by the way, I forgot to say. Another reason why I'm coming to this meeting, because it's part of this thing called Engage, you know, this other organisation that I'm trying to get some work from, and this job that I was talking about. So this is the first time I'm going to have a meeting with Corinne. We've spoken many times now via email. Never met the lady. I've heard people talk about her. I've heard people describe what she looks like. Blonde, nice lady, apparently. You know, this, that and the other, blah blah blah. So I guess, you know, like I say, for me it's kind of like, it'll be the first time meeting this lady. And like I say, obviously I want to make a good impression because hopefully I'm going to get this job out of it. Do you know what I mean? So, right, okay, I've just noticed there's some people down the other end down there, and see, that's another thing with me. Sorry to cut myself off from what I was saying. Like I say, I want to meet Corinne in the hopes of getting this job. Like I say, it should all go well. But yeah, I was just going to say, one of the other things about being in a wooded area, in an area that I don't know, I'm always a little bit wary, because sometimes you don't know just who's knocking about in these places sometimes, and especially, like I say, if it's an area that might be a little bit on the rough side or whatever, and you just have to be a bit mindful and careful, just because, like I say, you know, especially with having my camera and filming. Do you know what I mean? And plus the fact, I'm not sure, I mean, I must admit, see, that's the thing with me. You could call it curiosity, you could call it being nosy. Either way, see, because a part of me wants to go down there where those people are, to be quite honest. I want to have a little look down there, because I love that avenue of trees. It looks really nice, actually. It really does, and I can imagine what it looks like in the summertime and all. But you see, thing is, I don't know, I have no idea who that person may or may not be, and it might be completely fine and I'm worrying about nothing. But then again, you go walking down there, you don't know where you are, you don't know the area. Do you know what I mean? You know, you go down there and you find that you're in a bit of a pickle, like, you know what I mean, possibly. So well, I think we'll just head back this way, and plus the fact, like I say, I've got to be mindful of the time and just exactly where these trails are leading me. Do you know what I mean? So, but yeah, I must admit, like I say, there's a part of me is thinking, do you know what? I really want to have a look down there, because I love that avenue of trees. It looks really cool. But like I say, maybe we err on the side of caution just for today, because I really need to stay focused on this meeting, really. Right, okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish the vlog here. It's a rather longish one, because I didn't want to do a really short one either, necessarily. Ooh, I'm slipping on the mud here. Ooh. God blimey, that's the trouble with winter time in woods, you see. The little paths and little trails get really muddy. And I'm slip sliding all over the place here. Hang on, let me just get past this little part of it. Get on a bit more solid ground, as it were. Right, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it there for now. And like I say, what I might do is when I go back onto the main road there and back into the high street of Homerton, I might do a little vlog there. Okay, so catch you guys later. Still going to do those spiral staircase, by the way. It's still on the agenda. Just not getting the opportunity. Might even try and do it today if I've got the time, because I'm not sure how long this meeting is going to be. But hopefully, if I can get back in time, I will have a go up those stairs. Catch you guys later. Bye for now.